Mm. Hi, guys. Long time no see. Oh, I missed you guys so much. I miss talking to you guys. I miss sharing messages with you guys. But I've been going through a lot in the past 2 months, especially the past 6 weeks. I've been going through hell. I've had so many trials and tribulations. And even prior to me stepping away from YouTube, I was going through a lot back then, but I was still trying to hold on. I was still trying to be consistent. But it got to a point where I'm like, look, I can't be inspirational and motivational and encouraging and inspired. Like, I can't be all those things when I'm going through it. I don't feel inspirational. I don't feel encouraged. Like, I feel discouraged. I feel weary. I'm questioning everything. My faith is weak. So I didn't feel right coming on here and preaching when I'm struggling myself. I'm trying to find my way myself. I'm trying to figure things out myself. And it was especially hard for me because it's one thing when your life is chaotic because of you. It's one thing if a bunch of negative stuff is happening due to your choices. But when you're doing the right thing, you're doing your best to be obedient, do right by God, and your life still isn't changing for the better, it's actually getting worse. Yeah, that can make you start to question God. And it can even make you angry at God. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was very angry at God. I was very angry because I'm like, Lord, I'm being obedient. I'm living by the fruits of the Spirit to the best of my ability. I'm not perfect, but I try to be a good person and be better every single day. So, why are you allowing all these things to happen? I don't understand, God. Like, I'm not gonna lie, for a minute, I felt like God forsaken me. I felt like God had forsaken me. But now I'm out of that. And things still haven't completely turned around, but they're definitely getting better. Things are a lot better now than they were a month ago, and especially 2 months ago. And that's why I'm back. And today's message is stop thinking the worst case scenario. Stop thinking the worst case scenario. It's good to be aware of the worst case scenario, but if that's not the outcome you want, why would you entertain that? If you don't want the worst case scenario to happen, why entertain it as an outcome? Why keep thinking and assuming that that's going to happen if that's not what you want to happen? And people with anxiety tend to do this. And the reason why I know is because I'm one of those people. I have really bad anxiety, so I'm not going to lie. I have the tendency sometimes to automatically go to the worst case scenario. Hi, I want to make sure I say hi to you guys and interact with you guys in the chat, but I also want to make sure I don't get distracted. So, hi. But yeah, back to what I was saying. I, you know, I am guilty of sometimes going to the worst case scenario. It could be a relatively small problem, a relatively small problem, and I automatically go to the worst case scenario and catastrophic thinking and all these negative what ifs. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if this? What if this? What if this? And it's like, girl, relax. You have no proof that these negative what ifs are going to happen. So just calm down. I can't tell you how many times I believed the worst case scenario was going to happen and it didn't even happen. It didn't even end up being that bad. Sometimes something actually good ended up happening. And then I realized I got myself worked up for no reason. I got myself worked up for no reason. By the way, let me know if you guys can hear me. I could have been talking this whole time and I don't know if you guys can even hear me, but if you cannot hear me, please let me know in the chat. But yeah, I can't tell you how many times I thought the worst case scenario was going to happen, only for it not to happen and for things to work out better than I expected, better than I thought. And then I have to laugh at myself because I'm like, Kyla, you got worked up for no reason. You did all that worrying and stressing and panicking for no damn reason. And I feel like a lot of times we automatically go to the worst case scenario. As much as I don't want to admit it, a lot of times when we have a tendency to go to the worst case scenario, when we're presented with a small problem, it's because we lack faith and trust in God, period. And that's hard for me to say because, like I said, sometimes I'm guilty of that. And that's why I'm the perfect person to share this message because even though I do fall into that sometimes, I'm always able to snap myself out of it. There was situations recently where I automatically went to the worst case scenario. And before the outcome happened, I was able to talk myself out of it and be like, look, calm down. You have no proof that that's going to happen. And even if it does, so what? It's not the end of the world. As long as you're living, there's always an opportunity for things to turn around. So I will pretty much like coach myself through that thinking. And guess what? The worst case scenario that I was worrying about didn't even end up happening. I've had situations very recently with that where I was just like, oh my God, like, and then it ended up not even being what I thought it was going to be. And I'm like, girl, so you got worked up, got your blood pressure raised for no reason. So yeah, I'm gonna give y'all an example, a really good example. Back when I had my first car, it was a used car and it had a lot of miles on it. And I'm not gonna lie, there was a point in time I had to constantly get repairs on it. And after, I can't remember what repair that I got, but it was a certain repair that I got, and it cost a lot of money. And I was just thinking to myself, what if it gets to a point where they tell me I need something repaired and I can't afford it? Then what? Then I'm gonna be without a car. Then if I don't have a car, I won't have a way to work. And if I don't have a way to work, I'm gonna lose my job. And if I lose my job, I'm gonna end up homeless. I literally went all the way from 0 to 100 based on a small problem. Based on a small problem. When you have a used car, it's expected for you to pay to get repairs done on it. Even with new cars, there are certain things you have to pay to get repaired on it. But I allowed that one small, relatively small problem to make me jump to the worst case scenario, which was me ending up homeless. And one day, I don't know what switched happened, but one day I went to go to get an oil change. And you know, when you get an oil change, they always want to tell you everything wrong with your car. So they was telling me, so they was telling me, oh, you're gonna need this fixed, you're gonna need that fixed, da 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 da. And for the first time, instead of being like, oh my God, I can't afford that, or oh my God, like worrying, I was like, okay, just do the oil change. Just do the oil change. I'm not worried about all the other stuff you named, because guess what? I can't afford to get it fixed right now. So it is what it is. I don't know what switch happened, but I was like, you know what? It is what it is. If the car is still driving right now, I'm going to keep driving it. And I'm not going to worry about it. If I can't afford to get these repairs fixed right now, I'm just going to keep driving a car. And guess what? I drove that car for a whole year. After that, I drove that car for a whole year without having to pay for any repairs. All the stuff they was telling me, you're gonna need this fixed, that fixed, blah blah blah. Guess what? I went a whole year without having to pay to get anything fixed on the car outside of like regular maintenance, oil changes. But yeah, the repairs they were telling me, like, oh, you need this, you need that. Guess what? I was like, oh, well, if the car is still running, I'm just going to keep driving it. And the only reason why I only went a year without having to get repairs done on it is because I ended up getting into a car accident. And then the car was total. But the point is, I was thinking the worst case scenario when it ended up being the best case scenario. Not only did I not lose my job, and not only did I not lose my job or end up homeless, the car kept running and I didn't even have to pay to get all these repairs that they claim I needed. So, yeah, there's a scripture that says, as a man thinketh, so is he. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. That even goes for our reality. If you constantly believe in the worst case scenario for your life, you constantly expect bad things to happen to you, sometimes we can attract those things. So law of attraction goes hand in hand with a lot of things in the Bible. A lot of things that are biblical are really law of attraction. It's all connected, it's all the same. So, yeah, just because you think the worst case scenario doesn't mean it's going to happen. That's just anxiety getting the best of you. And this is a lesson I'm constantly having to learn and constantly having to remind myself. If you, and here's the thing, if you can come up with a negative what if, why not entertain a positive what if? What if things work out? What if things play out better than I expected? What if, like, you have to expect and believe in good things happening in your life, especially if you're a believer, especially if you believe in God. If you believe in God, you should believe in good things happening to you. And really, when you are thinking the worst case scenario, doom and gloom, like, oh, like God isn't going to bless me, God is punishing me, God's never going to come through. Guess what? That's the enemy. That's the enemy lying to you. And he disguises himself in your thoughts. Those negative thoughts you have are really attacks from the enemy. And even if the worst case scenario does happen, oh, I need some water. My voice is giving out. I love you. Let's meet up tonight. Excuse me. Y'all are crazy. Back to what I was saying. Even if the worst case scenario does happen, so what? So what? If you believe in God, you have to believe that He can turn things around for the better. He can change things for the better. Even if the worst case scenario does happen, guess what? God is greater than that. God can turn things around. God can make anything happen, including and especially good things. So, yeah, that was the message that I have for you guys today. If it helped you in any way, please make sure you like it and please make sure you're subscribed. Feel free to leave me a comment. It helps with the algorithm. And yeah, my voice is giving out. So I'm going to go ahead and exit, tune out, or tune out, exit out. I don't know. I can't think of what I'm trying to say, y'all. But I love y'all. See y'all soon. Happy New Year. Bye.